We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to talk, I say there's the front end, the big creative idea, and then there's the back end, managing the client's expectations about results, getting the client to bump up their spending a little bit, that sort of thing. So what I want to do is tell you a little bit about a concept. We'll go deeper into it a little bit later. But, you know, let's talk about profit for businesses. There are two kinds of profit margins for every business. One is gross margin of profit. The other is net profit. And I want to talk first about gross margin of profit. What gross margin represents is what's left over after either the cost of material or labor, whichever is more, not both. Net profit is what's left over after everything's been paid, all the bills, all the utilities, the taxes, the rent, the labor, the material, everything. If you ask somebody what their net profit was, that'd be like asking somebody, how much do you make? You know, that's rude. Or in Texas, asking a cattle rancher, how many cattle do you have on this ranch? That's considered very rude. You wouldn't ask. But gross margin of profit is open game. I mean, every business in a particular product service category, no matter where you go, what country you're in, is working off relatively the same gross margin of profit. And let's start here for just a moment. Let's say you own a clothing boutique. And so you go to market and you buy a blouse that you think will sell in your store, and that blouse costs you $50. That's the wholesale price. You bring it into your store, you would mark that blouse up to $100. That's a 100% markup from 50 to 100. And then you sell that blouse. And then to calculate return on investment, all you have to do is subtract what you have in it, which is the $50, or in this case, 50% gross margin of profit. All right? In the retail business, clothiers and jewelers, for example, work off of what we call keystone, or 50% gross margin of profit. If you have trouble with this, contact me or talk to your boss. See if you can find more information. In fact, with this lesson, I'll have more information on gross margin of profit and how you can, how you should use that in every single case so that you're on the same page with the client. And it's a great way to get the client to think about spending more. Once you know that most gross margins fall anywhere from 20% higher than Keystone at 50% to about 20% lower, then you're getting somewhere. For example, for some reason, furniture stores operate at a 40 to 44% gross margin of profit after the cost of the furniture. Sure. Bars, upholstered sewers, working off about a 70% gross margin of profit after the cost of booze. You know, after the cost of booze. You know, if you buy wine by the glass, when you buy the first glass, you've paid for the bottle of wine. That's the way it works. Home builders work off a 20% gross margin of profit after the cost of materials, which happens to be slightly more than the cost of labor. Remodelers working at a 30 to 35% gross margin of profit after the cost of materials, which is a little bit more than labor. Anything in the medical area, about a 50% gross margin of profit after the cost of labor. Most of the trades, for example, the plumbers, the electricians, working off of about a 40% gross margin of profit after the cost of labor, which is more than materials. These are the things we're talking about, because once we have that information and once we know what the average sale is, we can go a long way. You know, I take what I normally ask for a month and I ask for that money a week, and here's what I could say, for example, if you're even a media market station, I could talk to a home builder knowing that his gross margin of profit is 20% on an average sale of what? $210,000? I can say, for gosh sakes, think about it this way, per 5,000 a week spent on advertising, how many new customers would I have to bring you in order to justify that 5,000 a week? And of course, in that case, what's 20% of $210,000? Gosh, that's like 40,000. How many would we have to catch per 5,000 a week spent? Do you see how powerful this concept is and why you should fully understand the concept of gross margin and average sale? We'll get into it a little bit deeper here, but I wanted to bring that up right now because it's a great way to go in and a great way to ask for more money. And what are we doing at the same time? Managing the client's expectations about results. Managing the back end part, managing expectations about results, and putting ourselves into a position where we're worth more money to the client. We can ask for more money by showing the client that advertising with us is not gambling, but a good calculated risk instead. And then combining that with the front end work we're doing with these great ideas and these 5-year marketing and advertising plans. Most clients don't even have a 5-month plan. That's why they're all over the board, little radio, little television, yellow pages, cable advertising, this sort of thing. They don't have a 5-month plan. I'm here to help them build a 5-year marketing and advertising plan, and they've got to feel comfortable on the back end, which is the money they're spending and the level of money that they should be spending in order to be effective.